Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you wanted to help support this channel, it won't cost you anything. All you got to do is use the links in the description if you want to get one of these for yourself. Hey, what's going on? Rich back with another awesome video for you. So today I'm going to show you how to change a faucet out. Pretty easy, not too big of a deal. This is a single hole faucet. Some of the faucets you would have 2 holes on either side of it, one for the hot and cold. You can cover that with the vanity plate. Then you have the soap dispenser over there, obviously. So I'm replacing this with a Hansgrohe. Actually, the first time I saw that is when I was in Canada. I was at a really, really nice hotel. And, you know, being a contractor and working on houses for over 15 years, I pay attention to that kind of stuff, details. And the one thing I noticed, I saw the company and it said Grohe. There's 2 different lines. There's Grohe and there's Hansgrohe. They're both made in Germany. It was just a really amazing faucet at this bathroom in this hotel in Canada. And I was just blown away. I never saw it before. You know, the nicest I've ever seen in America is Kohler, which is a really high-end brand, very expensive, very nice finish. I've installed Kohler in a lot of houses between their toilets, their pedestal sinks, their faucets. So there's all kinds of brands that are really cheap. They make them kind of look nice, but they're really just cheap, plasticky garbage. And this thing is heavy. I'm holding it with one hand. I mean, it's got some weight to it. This is all metal construction, brushed nickel finish, really beautiful. You're gonna have the same kind of setup as this. You have your hot line, you have your cold line, and then you have your feed line, which then connects to fitting right here, the quick connector that comes out of the faucet itself. You're gonna shut the hot off, you're gonna shut the cold off. This is the first part of it. You have to turn these clockwise all the way to the right. Just make sure these are off. They might be a little bit stiff. If they are, what you want to do is just turn it right and then turn it back, turn it right, a little bit more, turn it back, turn it right, turn it back. If you have a problem with this, if this snaps off, if it's corroded or rusted, you're going to have a flood in your house. So what you're going to want to do is, if these are damaged or you think they're damaged or you don't think you could shut them off, shut the main off in the house, and you're going to have to replace your shutoff valve. I personally don't use the shark bites. I personally sweat everything on. I learned how to sweat copper 20 years ago, and it's much easier. The shark bites, you never know if they're going to give loose. I don't use PEX. I don't use shark bites. I don't use any of that stuff. I'm old school. I solder everything. That's just the best way to do it. You clean it really nicely, get your end fitted, put some flux on there, put it on, sweat it. You'll never have to worry about it. It'll outlive you. Just a little lesson right there for your shutoff valves. Make sure these are turned off. You got the hot over here, and you have the cold over here on the right. Now, don't always go by that. Usually it's hot on the left, cold on the right. Just make sure you check the line. You could feel it. You could just physically touch it and see which one's hot. I already disconnected this one, as you can see. Got my open end adjustable wrench. Irega, amazing wrenches. These are made in Spain. They use these on Ferraris. Really top end stuff. I've had this one for over 10 years now. You put it on, you just adjust it down by turning this piece right here. Make sure you have a towel or something underneath to catch the water that drops. So as you can see, it's really only a couple drops of water, no big deal. If you look underneath, you're gonna see your quick disconnect right here. Everyone's gonna be a little bit different. You just push on the disconnect, which is right here, push it, and your line will come right out. Slide everything up through the top of the hole once you get the bottom of it disconnected, and now you're gonna have a hole. And the problem is that's gonna be dirty from years of, you know, soap and mold and everything else that comes along with water. It's gonna be dirty, it's gonna have soap stains and residue and everything. It's gonna have water stains build up. So what you wanna do is just get a little scrub brush, just clean that off really well. If you have an old toothbrush or something, just spray a little bleach on there, whatever kind of cleaner you have, something really strong that's gonna clean that up. I would spray a little bit of bleach just to make sure you kind of kill any germs or anything that's on there. I wouldn't really use soap and water right now because you don't want anything to drain down unless you put like a catch pan on the bottom of the sink, because that is now a hole into the bottom of your sink that will get under the sink. Let me get that all cleaned up and then I'll put the faucet through. I'll show you what it looks like. Just hold the faucet itself, and then what you want to do is just hold all the lines, because you're going to just want to put all the lines in one at a time. The big ones in first. Put the feed lines in. Just put the quick disconnect in after that, just to make sure you got enough space. Okay, and then finally we can put the small one in, the smaller disconnect. Okay. There you have it. Just make sure the Hansgrohe label right there is centered. We're going to turn this faucet all the way to the left, then all the way to the right. It should be even on both sides. As long as it's even, we're centered, we can start screwing it down and we'll be good to go. First, you want to put the grommet on the bottom, which is kind of like a paper washer. Then you're going to want to put your metal washer. Then you're going to want to put your threaded nut with the set screws as the last piece. That's how you're going to do it. So you basically just take your lines, feed everything through there, and then screw it up to the bottom on those threads. You just take all your lines, you feed it through. So this is what we're supposed to look like on the bottom, but then the washer, then the set screw. Then you put the nut with the set screws, tighten all that down, tighten down the brass nut with a pair of pliers. Just turn that as tight as you can get it, and then turn the set screws to tighten those. And it shouldn't go anywhere. You should be good. That's all you got to do. And then after you do that, then you got to hook up the lines and you're good. Just take this little cap off the end, just pop right off. The other thing too, I took this off because we really don't need this plastic piece. I took all the lines out of that. All we got to do is take our quick disconnect, just push this in really hard and it's going to snap. You'll hear it click once you got that in. The one thing I would do before you do all this, I would just take some disinfectant wipes and I would just wipe this down in case there was any kind of mold or anything on the lines before you put the lines through. Because once you do that, all you got to do is take your metal weight. This thing opens up. Try to put this in the middle where it's going to hold it down and just clip that on. And once that's clipped on, all that's going to do is it's going to hold your sprayer down so that it doesn't pop out. And all you got to do, it's very simple. We don't need any kind of Teflon tape or anything. These are rubber O-rings. They have a compression fitting on the inside. So if your line is really long like this is, you can take it and put it in kind of a loop, bring it around like so, and put the fitting on. It's not going all over the place. It's not all tangled up. You get everything tightened down. You have your supply lines tightened down. You have your quick disconnect connected, and it is very tight. Start turning these on slowly. Open it up all the way. Make sure you check over here for any drips. We're not seeing any. We're good to go because I installed this correctly. No leaks, no drips, no nothing. So what you would want to do is you would want to check your fittings here where the connection is, your fitting here where the connection is, check your disconnect here, your quick disconnect, feel that, make sure there's no water or anything on your hands, and then you would want to check underneath the faucet all the way in the back, make sure there's no drips or anything. So I would leave a towel just for the first hour while you run it. So super easy to install, as you saw. It's super easy to use the faucet. All you have to do is open it up like this and close it like this, and all the way down for cold, turn it all the way to the right for hot. So very simple, very easy to do. That's about medium right there. Of course, you got your sprayer. All you have to do is grab this and just pull this out. So once you pull the sprayer out, all you have to do is push the button right here to make it into a sprayer. So very easy to do. You can clean up all your dishes, whatever you need to do, clean the back of the sink. So really cool. I'm really digging this. Just push this button right here, turns it back into a regular faucet. All you do is just bring it up here. It just snaps back into place. It will go onto the countertop, so just be careful how far you push it. The only other thing I forgot to show before is obviously you have to screw on the faucet to this piece right here. Just screw it on, tighten it up by hand. You got two little indentations, one here and one here. And then take your adjustable wrench and tighten them by hand with the adjustable wrench as you're holding this with your other hand. And that's all you got to do. So it's installed, good to go. Very nice, Hansgrohe, super high quality. It's not too loud, especially when you turn it down. It's very quiet and really good pressure. So it works good. You don't have to turn the faucet up as much to get more pressure because it has that nice arch. Just in case you were wondering what kind of tools you're going to need, an adjustable wrench, open-end pair of pliers like this just to tighten it down up against the bottom of the countertop, the nut, and you need a flathead screwdriver to be able to tighten the screws that went into the bottom of the nut. So again, I hope this video helped you out, and in case you want to pick up one of these for yourself, as always, I'm going to leave some links down in the description for the faucet and the tools if you need anything. And if you can, make sure to click that like button, subscribe to my channel for more awesome content, and let me know if you have any questions or comments in the section down below. Thanks again for watching. Take care. So I wanted to let you hear what it sounds like turned on really quickly. I forgot to add this to the video, but I figured I'd add it at the end. I wanted to let you see what it sounds like turned on and off. There it is on full. I'll slowly bring it back to off. So as you could hear, this thing is super quiet. I usually use it right about here, right around medium, maybe a little bit less. So, and I'll turn the sprayer on just so you can hear what that sounds like.